Even in this economy, we've accomplished a lot this year. We've settled every contract we've had this year without a strike. And we have employers coming in, pounding away, trying to use the economy as, a reason why you can't get a raise, or you got to get less of a raise, or things are terrible out there, we need a reduction. Every contract we've been into, the employer wants relief. Some of it legitimate, sometimes it is. Most of the time it's not, it's just using the economy to take advantage of the workers. And we've been lucky enough to get through this round of negotiations this year without having any strikes. So that's good news. And that's because we got great shop stewards, keep their fingers on the pulse. We have good members that listen when it's time to listen and do what we need. We've turned down a lot of contracts this year. We've had a lot of members vote no and authorize a strike. But because our members follow our lead, because we have cohesive leadership in this local, because our business agents care about what goes on, and because our shop stewards work hard, and because you guys follow that lead, we've been through it, we got through it, we'll continue to get through it. That's the good news. Nationally, our local is simply one of the most prominent in the country, and again, because of you. But just to give you a little idea of what our local controls on a national level here, we have a number of people in our local that have national positions. Steve Max, the chairman of the Industrial Trades Division. Antonio Christian is the director of the Human Rights Division. We should give him a hand because he just got that promotion. He's helping human rights all over the country, and we see him once in a while. Dennis Hart is the Western Region Brewery and Soft Drink Director, and no, he's not the reason we have booze here to give away today. Bo Morgan's the ACA Chairman. John Becker is the California Costco Grievance Chairman. Chuck Davis and Mike Amaral sit on the National Newspaper Division panels. So we have people in our local that influence what goes on in our union nationally. And you can look around at every local in the Bay Area, you're not going to find that. So our union, because of what you do, because of your support, has these type of influences, which means in return we get things done that a lot of locals can't get done, or it takes a lot longer to get done. So that's a very important part of it, and that's because of you, the membership. This year we've done a couple of other good things. We were the highest fundraiser for the Teamster Alcoholic and Drug Rehab Program. And probably we should be, because about half of you have been through that program yet. But anyway, we raised more money than anybody else for that program, again for like the 6th or 7th year in a row. The award's named after my father, so it's very near and dear to me, because he was a big supporter of the program and one of the original people that got it started for the members, so that they could, members that have those type of problems, or their families, understand. TAP also services your families if they have drug or alcohol problems. Janine Veneer, my assistant, isn't able to be here today, but I've talked about this over and over again. She has MS, has had it for about 20 years, has valiantly fought against this disease, and we raised $45,000 this year for her to donate in her name to the MS thing. So that's a great thing. We continue to organize in this local. Dave Ellis and our newly retired business agent Ron Paredes, where are you? Business agents in local 853 never go away, they just retire. So Ronnie, give him a hand, he just retired. And he's still working. Actually a little bit harder than when he was getting paid for it. But anyway, he and Dave Ellis just organized the parking lot this last week, and that's great. We're in a fight right now trying to keep our members. How many Cisco people here? Okay. More than probably turned out to work today. We have a great Cisco contract. Should be better, frankly. But it's not, because we have a big non-union competitor in Livermore, U.S. Food Service. And when we merged with Local 78, I told these guys that we were committed to organizing that U.S. Food Service. It's a long, tough haul. I don't know if Paul is here, but we've got an organizer that's assigned full-time to that, and we're making great progress, but it's slow. But we're fighting that fight. We're going to use our Cisco members, many of whom have volunteered to help us on that, and we're going to get that job done, and we're going to get them in the union. And next time we negotiate, we'll have everybody, and we will be able to raise that boat big time. We tie that up, we've got them all in Northern California. And there's an old saying, when you have them by the you-know-whats, their hearts and minds will follow. And we're going to have them by those very soon. Soon we're going to go back after the ready-mix industry, because we have some companies sprouting up in the area that are taking business from our employers, and we're going to do that. Again, we had our volunteer boot camp, organizers boot camp in San Jose a couple weeks ago for our volunteer organizers. Local 853 turned out more than half of the participants from the whole joint council. We still had more than half. And that means members went to this training to volunteer, to learn how to organize and learn how to talk to non-union people, because you are the best organizers. We know how to direct campaigns, we know how to get them started, we know the technicalities of how to do it. But there's nothing more valuable than a member talking to a member and telling them, hey ma'am, the union's not perfect, but it's a lot more perfect than working without a union. And that means more to a non-union worker than any 10 officials that can talk to them. So you're the people that are important, and I want to thank all of you here that was at that boot camp, because that's a big thing for us. Last but not least, it's important for us to go back to the way the union was when I joined it. When I joined the union and walked in the door to where my first place of employment was, 3 or 4 guys that had been there jumped my ass immediately. First to check to see if I was in the union, and then to tell me how the place operated and what the rules were, and that I wasn't to work through my breaks, and I better not get in that truck and start it before I was on the clock, and I better not, work through my lunch, and I better not work through my breaks. But, that was the way it was. Older members would mentor the younger members. They would introduce themselves. They would tell them they better come to the union meeting on Thursday night or whenever it was. And they would tell them that, by the way, guys, whatever you're getting here is because me and the rest of the union members here fought for it. And we voted to go out on strike. Maybe we have been on strike. Maybe we've done other things to make sure we got these wages and benefits the way they are. It wasn't out of the goodness of the company's heart that we got this. It's because of the union. And that's what we're going to dedicate this next year to, is pounding away at you, appreciating the union to other members of the union, so that your employers know that you'll fight if you need to fight, you'll stick together if you need to stick together. And our employers, for the most part, don't try to split up our group because they know it won't do them any good. And we got to keep letting them see that, because it's going to be another couple years before the work economy picks up here. And we're going to have to fight, and we got to be ready for it. So it's time to close ranks, folks, and get together. That's about what I've got today. We've got some great prizes today. We've got the grand prize, which is a 50-inch TV with a surround sound whole gizmo here. And we've got some other stuff. You've got what you've got in your bag. The booze is, we're on a school ground. And for those of you that drank more when you were going to school than you drank after you got out, please don't follow that. Don't open it until you get in your car. Really, don't open it. And we're going to start the drawing. Is that okay?